speaking to a lot of the new entrepreneurs out there, here's what my experience has been in the first 6 months of business. So going into it, I thought that it was just going to be work. Very simple, very analytical. Let me picture this for you. You list out all the things that you want to do for your customers. You then take that and you cut and stack, so that way you cut out the things that are the least valuable and take the most time and energy to deliver on. Then you stack up a new list of easy to deliver, very valuable for you, very valuable for them. I thought you then take that stack, you then say, okay, what do I have to do to make that happen? Okay, here's my execution list. Then, very analytical, right? You then take the number of customers you would need to make a certain amount of money to survive, whatever your goals are. And then you find a way to outreach to them, and you pull them in and you sell to those customers. Boom, 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 execute, repeat. So I thought it was just doing the work when I first started out. It's mostly a mental game. And I find it crazy that I'm only really just realizing this now, because watching all the YouTube videos on entrepreneurship, okay, listening to guys like Mark Cuban, listening to so many different people on being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. They hear you talk about how it's grit, it's struggle, you have to work harder than everybody else, you have to kick people's ass more than anybody else in the world, and don't let anybody know your business more than you. But until you're in that position where it's very, very hard for you inside your head to get through these hard parts, only then do you realize that it's mostly mental. And that's what I want to talk about today in this really short video. So I expected I was just going to be doing tasks all day, like I just referred to. What actually happens, overthinking everything, second guessing everything, and replaying conversations again and again and again and again. I still do that a lot. It's not something that really just goes away. I think you can get much better at not letting that happen. Because say at the start, you're a new entrepreneur, or you have had your business for a while, but you're trying to, think of new tips, tricks, or ways to get through so that way you can break to the next level or get rid of a plateau that you're going through. Picture this, okay? You, right now as you're starting, have 2 to 3 important conversations a day. Out of maybe 1 or 2 of those conversations, you relay and you repeat again and again and again. Throughout time, when you're more seasoned and you're just busier, it's the truth, you may have 20 conversations that day. And yes, we're not saving lives here, right? It is important, but it's not the end of the world. We all go home at night. We all sleep in the same bed. We all, we put on our pajamas. We each put, our shoes on 1 foot at a time. But we have important conversations in our business. So you may think that it's going to be a lot of relaying the same information again and again and again throughout those 20 conversations. But what you need to know is that when you're more seasoned, you get better at that stuff. So instead of ruminating on everything, out of those 20 conversations, there might be 2 or 3 that stuck with you. And this is if you really care, then you work on those. But it gets easier, okay? But at the start, it's a lot of this, a whole lot of it. At least for me it was. That was my experience. And we don't want that. So nothing had really changed externally. The same stuff happened. But my head was very, very loud at that time. So what helped me a little bit was just doing something small but important. Doing something small but important for the business, no matter how I felt. Right? If I need to tweak something with our email campaign, because I look at the data and I had a few sets going for how many cold emails I was going to send, and I disabled 2 options or 2 variables, so that way I'm not sending those 2 types of different emails, because you want to test. I'm not sending those tests. I'm sending only the one. But I noticed my open rates drop, my reply rates drop. Well, that's very important. We're spending money to send these emails every month. So that's a small important change I can make. Add 1 new testing line that's like the other ones, learn from your winners, and change it for the better. No matter how you feel, okay? Maybe you can't do huge tasks, but maybe you can do something small today. So what's the final takeaway for this, guys? It turns out you don't fix things first, okay? You got to act through it. Then you build a system so that way you don't succumb to these feelings again and let them take control of your actions and your day. So when you're dealing with these problems, you don't just think, okay, I need a fix for that right now. And then you take your attention away and you start fixing things and playing around, and you find out there's 3 new steps and new lessons and skills you need to learn to even get to that point where you can fix that little thing. Then you can move on with your day. Before you know it, it's 6 o'clock and you still have 8 things on your to-do list. Happens. You want to act through it. Just make one action happen so that way you can get through what you're going through and build a system so it doesn't happen again. Right? We want to add friction to the things we don't want to do. We want to make it as easy as possible for the things we do want to do. Example, add a friction, take the ice cream and put it at the back of the freezer, put a bunch of other stuff in front of it that's healthy for you, like frozen veggies or frozen fruits, whatever the case is. Make it harder for you to get to that. Then the spoon or the bowl you would usually have for that ice cream, put it on the top shelf of your cabinet, way at the back. That's one example. And making it easier for you, when you are up in the morning, wouldn't it be easier for you to go to the gym if your shoes were right in front of you, right on your side of the bed, and your clothes were neatly folded, right? Your top and your pants and your socks, they were neatly folded right there with your shoes on top, and you had a cold glass of water right there ready for you, or your water bottle ready to go. Wouldn't that make it easier for you to go to the gym? So it's about building important systems, all right? Now, my name is Mark Perry. I am the co-founder of M&C Creative Co. We help take social media off the plates of local business owners here in Calgary and the surrounding areas. And we help them with that and their paid advertisements so that way they can go back to doing stuff they would much rather do. We're happy to help out locals. So if you have any questions, give me a shout. My information is all right here. It's open for you to reach out to me. Or if you want to drop a comment about any questions you have, let me know. And I will happily answer every one of them. I make these videos, by the way, so that way I can help other people who may be dealing, or some of the, they relate to the content a little bit and it's something which they're having a hard time with, whether they're at a lower stage of business than me or a higher stage, whatever the case is, they want to work on their personal development in the name of business. That's why I make these videos, and so I can practice my presenting skills. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.